And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Starting off with satellite imagery for today. Out to the west, next system pushing in across the Bering Sea here. Strongest here, kind of a new low developing there. And precipitation and clouds and precipitation moving in across Adak and Atka. Kind of a break here to the east. And then this system tracking eastward here, coming across the Aleutian Range and Bristol Bay today with quite an area of rain from that area up into the southwest interior. East of Bethel, though, all the way across south central Alaska into the North Gulf Coast, rain Kodiak, and increasing clouds here over the Copper River Basin. Not a bad day up there in the Tanana Valley, especially around Fairbanks on down into the far eastern Copper River Basin there. Panhandle, partly and mostly sunny in the south. A few more clouds keeping a little cooler up there to the north. Had some pretty good showers up here, up to maybe 1/3 of an inch of precipitation falling up here just south of the Eastern Brooks Range there. But that's heading out. This system bringing some clouds and a threat of showers into the western Arctic coast there later tonight or during the night tonight with but today another sunny day around Umiat Airfield there. Temperatures pushing up into the upper 50s. And rolling this through again, you can see this low developing here, starting to spin up a little bit there as it crosses the Aleutian Range. And on the chart, low center right about in that position there where the satellite imagery showed it, with down to about 993 millibars. This starting to bring increasing winds into Kamishak Bay there and the Barren Islands this afternoon. And rain spreading in along the North Gulf Coast. Rain just about all day long here across south central Alaska as well as Bristol Bay. Dillingham picking up 2/3 of an inch precipitation during the day today, the 12-hour period ending at 3 p.m. this afternoon, while about 1/3 of an inch fell at Kodiak and up here at Anchorage. Drier conditions up into the interior with some sun breaks there, as well as the north slope, central and east side there, with the showers of this weakening low there up over the northeast interior, and scattered showers back to the west either side of that trough axis there along the southern slopes of the western Brooks Range. High pressure, partly to mostly sunny skies across the Panhandle. Temperatures to the south in the 60s to lower 70s this afternoon, and clouds to the north are keeping a little cooler, but not a bad day at all. And northwest winds here in the back side of this low here for the Alaska Peninsula gusting 25 to 35 miles an hour there with diminishing shower activity. Weak trough right through here tonight will drop a chance of some light rain, fog, and drizzle, or probably will put some light rain, fog, and drizzle into the Pribilof Islands, but precipitation will be very light. This system already starting to show signs of weakening as it moves eastward here, but will spread rain to Atka Island. Dry over the northern Bering Sea, dry in the central and northern interior. As I mentioned, that trough brings a slight risk of a shower or two to the western Arctic coast. This area moving out, staying dry elsewhere up there. Rain and wind, gale force winds for the North Gulf Coast into the Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay tonight and tomorrow. And also starting to pick the winds up here along the north coast of the Panhandle with increasing rain on the central coast northward, pushing inland a little bit, but staying dry down to the south. But that'll change tomorrow as that front moves right into the coast of Prince of Wales Island. So rain all the way down into Queen Charlotte's northward and then back to the west here, covering all of the southeast interior areas. And low center moving eastward here, so the winds will start to let up and start to become more northwesterly, which will dry it out over Kodiak Island. May get some clearing if you're lucky there. And rain, though, across much of southern Alaska, from the Alaska Range or Kuskokwim Valley eastward there, right over toward the border, and then kind of cutting off at the Alaska Range there, but some light precipitation could get north of the range. Stays dry over the northern interior, chance of showers up with that thing there on the Arctic coast and north slope. This front really washing out as it pushes eastward here, and for the next day, just the remnants of that bring a chance of showers to the southwest coast there, and even just risk of some light rain for St. Lawrence Island, a break behind that with maybe some clearing for the Pribilofs into the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula areas. Otherwise, this low weakening, sliding eastward here, a wet day, wet couple of days, or actually a wet day tomorrow or for Friday for the southeast coast there, and all the way up to Yakutat, but drying out over south central Alaska. Look for the showers to end and clearing periods on the increase. Hopefully, with definitely much drier conditions, what we've seen the last couple of days. Stays pretty wet and unsettled there for the eastern Copper River Basin up into the mid and upper Tanana Valley. In fact, all the way up to the Yukon Flats with that low up in that area. And then this system out here to the west, the next one pushing in, again, strongest in the southern area. This low bringing gusty winds and precipitation into the western to the central Aleutians. This low will track northeastward and move up toward the southwest coast later Saturday, and that'll bring, looks like it'll deepen as it comes up, bringing gale force winds and maybe some elevated surf conditions into the coastline there. Again, that'll be late Saturday and into Sunday. Otherwise, temperatures in the 40s for the lows tonight over much of the state and the Bering Sea. Some 30s up here to the north with lower to mid 30s, but everyone's staying above freezing here except Eagle, possibly down to 32. Mild for the southeast coast, upper 40s to lower 50s. And then for the day on Thursday, highs 50s here. Much of the interior, near 60 in the Susitna Valley, and cooler over the southern panhandle with the clouds and rain coming in, so up in the 50s mostly there. But lower 60s Kodiak Island, and in the 50s for the Alaska Peninsula. And the lows for Friday morning, 30s here, Brooks Range to the Arctic coast, but all staying above the frost point, and 40s in the interior, upper 40s down to south central Alaska, Kodiak Island, and 50 to 55 for the Panhandle, mid 40s out to the west. And the highs for the day on Friday afternoon, upper 50s to mid 60s, south central Alaska, mid 50s to the Copper River Basin here, and in the 50s, central interior. Mild 40s continue all the way out to the Arctic coast, and upper 50s to lower 60s for the southeast coast, and not too bad in the Aleutians there, 55 to 60 for Adak and Atka.